Wander Middle-earth in the Lore of the Rings podcast, where we wander the world of J.R.R. Tolkien. In the Lore of the Rings podcast, we explore the inspiring tales and rich mythology of Tolkien's Lord of the Rings legendarium, and connect it to the movies and the new Rings of Power series. Available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more. You'll find a new, lore-packed episode every Thursday. Come wander and not be lost with the Lore of the Rings podcast.
Hello, Nomads, and welcome to the Nomads of Fantasy. I can't do this accent the entire time.
We have to the entire time.
We are a weekly video game and movie podcast where we make a new universe our home every week. This week we are talking about the 1987 classic Predator. And with us this week in the jungles, we have Eric.
Yeah, one ugly motherfucker.
You're gonna drop your one F-bomb.
I had to do it.
And we also have Brandon.
You're ghosting us, motherfucker. I don't care who you are back in the world. You give away our position one more time, I'll bleed you. Real quiet. Leave you here. Got that?
Oh, intense.
Well, that was a very intense reading right there. I like that. Yes, all from my first watch of this movie.
Yeah,
from
Dave has never
1987.
seen Predator before.
Came out so long ago that I don't know. I think it was just like as a 7-year-old growing up in a Catholic house, I just never got to see like aliens and soldiers murdering each other. So it was just never on the menu. So
Understandable.
I think this came up when we were watching a previous Arnold movie. It might have been Last Action Hero or something like that. And
Probably, yeah.
It got brought to everybody's attention. So here we are watching this action movie
Classic. Absolutely classic. One of the best action movies ever.
Yes. It's up there. It's got its own charm. But we did ask the internet what they thought about this movie.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, why don't we hop over to you for some socials? Let's hear what everybody else kind of had to say about this.
Sure. Over at Nomads of Fantasy on Twitter, we put out the question about Predator, just people's general thoughts. Our good buddy Jake said it was the first R-rated movie he ever saw. Love this movie and love the universe it takes place in. We Like Movies podcast says it's so good. Kilted One says that movie is so good. Arnold really worked to improve as an actor, and you can really see it as his movies progressed.
He is, yes.
Yeah, definitely.
She's portraying Dutch as well as he can. It's always weird when you see like U.S. Army people with that accent. I'm like, well, how did you get in here?
You just gotta ignore it. It's Arnold.
But
yeah,
it's good.
Right. Brian Johnson says, controversial. I like Prey better. I love both for different reasons, but if I'm picking a movie to watch in the series, it's Prey, which I have not seen Prey yet, but I've heard really, really good things about it.
Is that the new one?
Yeah, it came out last year. It's on Hulu, and I gotta watch it. But this whole Predator foray has got me in the mood. I want to watch the other. I mean, I know they're not all good, but I want to at least watch Prey and like some of the other
I do too.
Ones that recently came out.
Yeah.
Definitely, I'm interested in the Predator reverse because there are a lot of movies.
Well,
in this franchise.
It's in the
There's
same
some interesting
verse
stuff.
as Prometheus and Alien.
It's Alien versus Predator.
Yeah,
It's a great movie.
Which
Alien versus Predator is the first movie I saw in either franchise. I feel like I've talked about this in our Alien episode, actually.
Yeah,
which
I
is
believe
funny.
I remember
that. Let's see. Sons and Shadows says awesome. Infinity Bros says it's a GIF of Jimmy Kimmel saying #classic. Jerry Zero says we must all get to the choppa. And then a couple more here. Creative Control Movie Podcast says one of my top 10 favorite films of all time.
Wow.
The action, the horror, the horror aspect, the simplicity of it. Just a cocktail of goodness.
right?
And that was something I wrote down too. It's like you go into it expecting an action movie, but it is kind of like a monster horror movie at the same time too, which is a cool combo.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, our good buddy Jake again commented and said, "Such a cool creature design that has stood the test of time."
Right.
Which is interesting because there was a lot of different things that went into the production of this movie where the Predator was almost not looking like the Predator, which, you know, the Predator was almost 5'6" Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Right. I remember hearing about that. He got upset about like the costume.
It was
or
too
his
hot
outfit,
in the costume.
Suit, yeah.
They had to tell him to stop kickboxing. Like, Predators don't know kickboxing, Jean-Claude. Cut the shit. So
you're supposed to just shoot him, not do it. Yeah, like a
fucking karate chop.
Yeah,
backflips. Yeah.
So, nice. It sounds like social was pretty overwhelmingly positive there.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Nobody really dunking on the Predator for being as old as it is. You know, it shows its age in some places, but we'll save that for a little bit. If you would like to play along with us this week, as we're talking with Predator, next week we'll be hitting our 100th episode.
Yes.
And we will kind of be putting together a little mixed bag of games and trivia and questionnaires and all sorts of fun stuff that episode. Maybe doing a live stream next week too. But so follow us on socials.
Tentatively planning for, if you're listening, hopefully you're listening to this before the date, but April 28th, that Friday, is our planned date for the live stream. So that should be a lot of fun for episode 100.
Yeah, excited for that. And then after that, join us again as we're watching another 80s classic. It seems like we're in that rhythm now. Big Trouble in Little China.
Finally, a comedy. We haven't done too many comedies. And
don't tell me anything. I don't know anything about this movie, so I want to go in just blind.
Please.
I mean, I've heard nothing but, again, another movie I've heard nothing but good things about. So I just want to go in blind.
Okay.
All right. Well, that should be fun. Well, why don't we take a quick break here, listen to some cool music, and when we come back, we will be getting airdropped deep into the jungles as we are hunted.
Hey, stick around.
Forgot about that one. And we are back in the jungles. We're here to shoot the predators and talk about the Predator. Yay! Yeah, we mentioned it a couple times. Made in 1987, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and a whole list of other interesting characters.
Carl Weathers, don't snub Carl Weathers.
You've got a lot of Carl Weathers lately.
Fuck yeah, we do.
He's in The Mandalorian
and Rocky, and
hell yeah,
still kicking in all sorts of fun stuff. Yeah, but you guys have both seen this before. How was it? How was it this time? Is it just
fucking
as spectacular
awesome
as you remembered it?
Yeah, it's
so
great.
Yeah,
It's just a tight but tight package of awesome action, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yep.
Like, yeah, baby, let's do it. Let's
this
see
is
what
like
this guy can do.
Peak Arnold at this point, you know.
So I was looking at his IMDb. It's on his way. It's on his rise.
Yeah, I mean, it's right before
the meteoric star.
It's
because it's
sorry. Go ahead.
After Terminator, after Commando, and then we hit Predator, and then after Predator, you get into Running Man and Twins and Total Recall and Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah, he hit his stride like right there in the late 80s, early 90s. Yep. Where
the rocket ship takes off, essentially.
Wow.
I've seen, Commando and Running Man and Total Recall and all these other ones. But for some reason, this one as an R-rated movie for when it came out, like
Slipped through the cracks.
That one didn't get viewed in the household, which is kind of weird because you guys remember those like book fairs you used to have as a kid, and you go and you get some money from the family and you get some books, you get some posters or whatever.
It's always fun.
I bought a Predator poster as a kid and had it on my wall.
You poser.
just because it was like a fucking thing of the alien and how cool he looked, and it was like, this is his laser thing and his fucking,
I mean, he does look fucking awesome, iconic.
Yeah, and it had like little readouts for all this cool little gadgetry and shit, and I'm like, well, that's just fucking cool. So I don't know, I always liked it as a kid and had it on my wall, but I've never really gotten like into the Predator verse, I should say.
I probably haven't seen this movie in I don't know how long. I mean, the first time I saw it was probably when I was like 10 years old, and it was awesome back then. And I don't remember the last time I saw it, but rewatching it, it's so good. On HBO Max too. This one's actually streaming. We didn't have to rent this one. So
it's a nice change up. I don't know. It was my first time seeing it. I mean, I don't know. I didn't want to expect too much because, made in 87, there is a ton of practical effects, a ton of practical explosions, a bunch of buff dudes.
It's kind big, of beefy boys slapping meat. That's for sure.
Yeah. But no, it was a fun ride through the whole thing because I enjoyed the horror-y aspects of it. Some of the action scenes were a little cheesy, like them raiding that first camp was just
really?
It was just like Team America World Police showing up.
It's
just blowing up everything.
80s action, yeah.
But you could tell because that action scene wasn't filmed by the actual director. Apparently he was off doing something, but they had the guy that directed like the A-Team shows and stuff, like directed that action.
Well, that makes sense then.
Oh, wow.
Because
it looks very A-Team.
Okay, do you know who directed this?
I could.
John McTiernan.
Oh,
this is
really?
the third movie we've done by him. Die
Seriously?
Hard, Last Action Hero, and Predator.
Oh, wow. I did not know it was him.
Yeah.
Crazy.
He directed this movie, so that's why it's a good
that makes
action
sense.
movie.
Totally makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It hits all those staples, though. It's got, it's got them being hunted. It's got that anxiety to it. It's got, a lot of cool guns and, silly one-liners here and there constantly.
The best one-liners.
Yeah.
There's a lot of memorable characters between, Carl Weathers' guy, Jesse Ventura as like the tobacco chewing, spitting like rude guy. You got Bill Duke playing Mac, who's the crazy guy, which he's like got this weird like soft-spoken demeanor, but he's also fucking super creepy.
Wait, who's creepy?
Mac?
Bill Duke as Mac.
Oh, you think he was creepy? I mean, that's who I did my quote.
He's got that. Yeah, he's got that like whispery, like quietness to him. But
I mean, these are like tough.
You never know kind of
dudes.
what he's gonna do.
These are like the guys you send in to help the guys you send in.
They're like top of the top elite
top
soldiers.
Of the top elite. Yeah.
That was a good movie. I liked the stereotypical guys where like the nerdy guy is reading a comic book and he's got giant glasses, but he's on like this.
They all had their stereotypes. There's
a lot of stuff that tuck it away into reality. Like you don't gotta think about how long does it take Arnold to really set up all these traps. That would take like days in real life.
Oh yeah,
whereas he sets them up like. You got action movie kind of stuff. You just got to set.
Also, he got shot in the fucking arm with a plasma cannon before that too, and he's pulling up a 500-pound log into a tree.
Right.
Where Carl Weathers gets his arm blown off. Yeah. Like he gets hit with the same plasma cannon, and his arm. And that was an awesome scene.
Yeah.
Like when he's taking him off, he switches his other arm. He swings around. He's just got the bloody stump, but he pulls the Uzi out with the other hand. Like,
yeah, so cool. So Dave, like, so seeing, like, yes, it is guilty of all those things, but there's a guilty pleasure to this. This movie gets away with a lot of things because it was the one that did a lot of this right. But like, what did you think of the actual plot? Not that there's much of a plot, but like, what did you think about how they told the story though? Because like, you only get to see the alien at the very end. We're always a sucker for like.
They kept it close.
That's the best
they
part.
kept it under wraps,
Gotta,
much like Alien or something.
And Dave likes the horror part. Like, he was surprised by how much horror was in this. I think he was expecting more action, you said. And it's just like, you could actually look at this as like a creature film?
Yeah, like a monster movie or kind of something like that.
You know what I almost wish? I wish they almost didn't start the film the way they did. I almost wish they didn't show the ship
in the
launching
beginning.
the pod. I wish they just completely cut that scene out. And you think it's like a war movie or like something completely different, and then they introduce some weird shit going on. The concept of this alien. I think that would have been
because they don't
more interesting.
They don't really show the predator until like they start finding bodies, essentially.
Right.
Like they're out there looking for another team that disappeared, helicopter crashed or whatever, and like even the lady that's in the village that they kind of take back with them or whatever, she knows about it. Like, it sounds like it's been there for a while. Like, where she talks about how it comes and takes their people.
It's a
when
recurring,
it's like really hot outside or something like that.
It's a recurring thing. Yeah, throughout, predators come and go from Earth. They have been for like thousands of years.
Oh, really?
I actually listened to a couple like predator lore videos.
That's cool. I mean, I've seen these movies and I've watched.
There's some good
like the world. What
there's
do you
some
mind?
good lore to
do you
dig
mind,
into
like,
there.
How good are you at this? Like, could you on the fly maybe just give us a rundown of like, because I am aware of them being trained as soldiers in like this specific kind of
like trophy hunters, kind of.
Yeah,
that's why
their
they
whole
like
race. They're like a tribal.
That's why they like hunting aliens.
The tribal,
because they're just like a
tribal race. Yeah, and they have it.
And it's cool the way they kind of introduce this monster, because like they even know, like, man, he's killing us one by one. He won't take us like he won't take out the weak guy until he's ready or something like that. Like, it wants to have it has some pride in what it's trying
about,
to do, which I thought was kind of nice.
It's about sport. So they're the actual race of, like, they're just, the humans call them predators or whatever, but they're actually, the race of them is called Yautja. I think that's how you say that.
Okay, sure.
But yeah, they're basically, like you said, just a warrior race, tribe mentality. There's hierarchies within the tribes, and there's different clans, and basically the more trophies they get, the clan like gains respect. And like there's some cool stuff there, and they have this, obviously they introduce the rivalry between the xenomorphs and the predators in Alien versus Predator. They kind of merge those two universes together, which I think,
well, actually at the end of the second Predator,
yes, there is an
crazy
Easter egg
ending scene,
yes,
where you meet other predators and they respect Danny Glover for like defeating the one in that one, and they give him like this old ass pistol from like the 1800s or 1900s, and like, all right, cool. And then in the back wall they show all these different skulls, and one of them is a xenomorph.
That was the first hint of that universe connecting to each other. And then I think they released like a run of comic books kind of merging those together, and then they did the AVP movie back in 2004, which I mean, that movie was, not received critically well, but I think I really like that movie because it does explain, I think that movie does the most heavy lifting in explaining the history of like both races, like the aliens and the predators, because they've had
the
this
2010 one.
No, 2004 was the original Alien versus Predator movie.
Okay.
But they go into this whole backstory about how they've had this like warring feud for thousands of years, because the whole thing is the predators actually created the xenomorph race like back thousands of years ago, really? As a way to like create a formidable opponent for them to like hunt,
Wow.
Okay. And then and older than that was the engineers, which you are introduced in Prometheus.
So that's where it gets a little foggy, because
they created humans and predators and all that stuff, right?
Once you get Ridley Scott back into the picture when he's creating Prometheus, he completely ignores the predator shit. He doesn't he completely disregards that and does
Oh,
his
really?
own thing.
Oh, I thought he doesn't recognize them being in the same.
No.
Oh,
Not in my universe.
So yeah.
lame.
Huh.
So there's a little bit of like, oh, is the Predator versus Alien stuff actually canon? Which I don't really give a shit about that. It's still a cool like backstory and lore stuff to dig into.
I think it's way more fun having them in the same universe.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Yeah, definitely.
Please, people like crossovers, and that's a cool one. Come
I
on, the
wonder
two coolest aliens ever made.
Right.
At least in modern time, like there's some old ones, I'm sure, but like, come on, the fucking xenomorph and the Predator, like, Jesus Christmas, what are you doing? Like, that is awesome. Those are cool today.
Yeah.
They still look good.
Yeah.
It's hard, man. Go in the 50s and 60s and look at those aliens, and they're like,
Yeah.
kind of lame.
But well, bringing it back around to this movie, the Predators do very frequently visit Earth, and like humans aren't necessarily the biggest or strongest challenge for them, but it comes with their craftiness, and humans' ability to like survive and overcome challenges and stuff. So that's where the Predators think that they're formidable opponents worth hunting and proving their skill against. So that's kind of why they frequent.
But you're
Earth
right
a lot.
though. They shouldn't have shown it in the beginning.
No,
though.
they shouldn't have teased
It
it.
gives a little hint.
Knowing what you just told us, like that would have made it more of a like, what the hell are we going against?
Yep.
I hadn't seen any trailers for it, but even from the movie, like the film cover, the movie poster, and all that stuff, you would never be able to tell that there's aliens waiting for you.
I mean, it's just
in the jungle.
The movie poster is just Arnold, right, with his gun,
With a crosshair on
Yeah.
him.
Mhm.
With a red crosshair on him, I think, something like that, from an alien's perspective.
It's
But
interesting.
tech-
The alien costume was originally like they had hired a guy that worked at like Ghostbusters, and the alien costume was late getting there, and when when they opened it up, they said that it looked like it had the body of a lizard and the head of a duck. We can post the image.
We
up
should post
for-
the
for
original
everybody
design on Twitter, yeah.
But there was
Oh,
a
wow,
guy,
okay.
Stan Winston, who had done a lot of stuff previously, came in and kind of fixed the alien, I guess.
Yeah, and he like came in and he made the iconic look with the mandibles and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Took inspiration from African tribesmen, Celtic warriors, fish, bats, locusts, and snakes.
Yeah, all that.
Which is kind of crazy because it does look it's got a batty kind of face to it, which is, I mean, that's the best part, I think, of the whole movie is the fight at the end where, which is, it's funny because, like, not, knowing that they're like a tribal, like, hunting race or whatever, kind of makes sense now, but during, like, the end of it, like, the Predator is kind of, like, picking off people one by one, just exploding people's chests at will and just, like, disappearing into the jungle. And then when it comes to fighting
Skinning
Arnold,
him.
all of a sudden, the Predator is just, like, a cat toying with a mouse. And
That's the whole point.
The
The
Predator
Predator
becomes
deems Arnold Dutch worthy to fight like one-on-one, hand-to-hand. That's why at the end, like, he takes off his mask and he's like, Dutch gained his respect. So he's like, okay, I'm not, he puts down all his weapons. He takes off his like blaster and he's just using his knives. So he wanted to face him in like one-on-one, hand-to-hand combat.
Which, yeah, and he could have killed him like 15 times during that fight.
Yeah,
it seemed like a wrestling, or like a WWE match.
I liked
for a little bit at the end there.
I think that's what I like about the Predators so much is that they have more personality than just like you see the xenomorphs. The xenomorphs are just like kill everything, no humanity, no like not really any. I mean, maybe intelligence, but I think the aliens or the xenomorphs are just working off of instinct. They're more like animals.
Totally.
The Predators are like actually intelligent, highly intelligent. They know what they're doing.
Right.
They have emotions, feelings, and they have respect for, their opponents and who they're going up against, and hubris as well, which I think this Predator that we see in this movie kind of lets his guard down a little bit, and that's how Arnold gets the better of him.
This Predator doesn't have a name in this movie. Do any of the Predators have names?
They do have names.
They do have names.
Do they?
I looked it up online. I don't remember off the top of my head, but
It's a bunch of clicking noises.
yeah, exactly. But no, it has a name, but wow, it's not like Arnold. Before I kill you, who are you?
Tell me the name. I love you.
Tell me your name. I love no, but that fucking I know we're always jumping around, but the fucking battle cry that Arnold lets out.
I love it. It startles the
so good.
predator. That is great. He's got the. I was like taking notes down when I was watching this, and I go, "Damn, Arnold! Like you don't give a fuck. You're gonna just light fire, knowing that like it knows it. You know it knows like where you are based off of your heat presence, and you're like, not only does your body give off heat, you're gonna light a fire, like guy." But he's just, I guess it's do or die. It's like I gotta make this shit, and I gotta see what I'm doing because it's nighttime. So maybe.
Yeah. By the time like they had to walk, I don't know, maybe like 8 miles back to the chopper. Arnold has built like this entire like Home Alone trap room.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Essentially, it was like that's what I was thinking.
Oh,
of it.
sweet as bow.
Home Alone
like
for adults. As he's making the bow, he's doing like bodybuilding techniques, so he can just like flex every single muscle in his upper torso for like the perfect shot. Yeah. Like I'm like, this is kind of fucking hilarious. But
it's like some MacGyver shit. He's taking the grenades and getting the gunpowder out of them, and he created that like explosive arrow.
Yeah. That's right. That's how he made it. I was wondering how he made it.
Because
that's right. Because
he created that fire to draw the predator in, and then he had his arrow full of gunpowder, which he launched at the fire and exploded. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, there's just enough in this dumb action movie where a bunch of like fucking beefy dudes who literally can just gun down half of a forest at will.
The entire village. They just
right.
Everything. They're there to save people. They're there to save people, and every single building they blow up with a goddamn grenade launcher.
Well,
like, yes.
The reason they did that was because they killed the hostages, so they're just like, okay, we're gonna fuck these guys up. And
right, yeah.
How do they know there's no like women and children? There's no nursery in the.
There was one woman that managed to survive
somehow.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, halfway through the movie, she just starts speaking English too.
Well, yeah, but what I like about this movie though is that after watching it,
can't let him know she speaks English.
It has like 3 acts, which I think is cool. You get the first act, which is like straight up action movie. We're going in, ain't no one else until you guys get the job done.
The iconic handshake between Dutch and Dylan.
Just Dylan.
Yeah, dude.
Love that.
Oh, that was so good. Yeah, you get that, and you get the intel, you get the mission, and then you meet all the dudes like on the helicopter ride. You get to meet the personalities. They're doing everything right for an action movie. You know, like, yes, this is great. Like, we're gonna meet the team. They all have so much personality.
That is one thing I love about like this movie, and like Alien and The Abyss comes to mind. The Thing, like you get this cast of characters, and you know them all by name. You know, they make it a point that you know who everyone is. They each have their distinct personality.
They're all very stereotypical too.
Yes, that too. Yeah,
classic.
Right.
Let's make the Indian guy the tracker. Like
I know, right? I know,
guys.
Native American.
I think that adds to the charm, though, because like this one thing that this movie
influenced
like,
so many things from movies to video games to just like pop culture. Like this is kind of our archetypes for these characters.
If one thing like it doesn't have, maybe Arnold's acting isn't the greatest, or maybe the explosions don't hold up to like CGI nowadays, but just the charm of all the characters together, Carl Weathers, Jesse Ventura, Arnold, and everybody else, like it's great.
I don't have time to bleed.
It's like what?
It's so good.
But what I was gonna say, like the first act is like this awesome action movie where these guys can just take on anybody on the planet. They are the toughest team. And then the second act of the movie becomes this thriller where one by one they're picked off, and then it goes to the third act, which is Arnie going against one-on-one in this duel of wits and strength and respect and all that stuff between two dominant
alphas. They're like the alphas going.
I feel like the Predator could have won at any time. It was guaranteed to win. It just kind of got lucky that it went to where it went. But
dude, and when they fucking
still,
one thing
survival action.
one thing I liked about the second act you mentioned, which turns into more of like a horror-ish type movie when they're getting picked off one by one.
Upside down,
like
skinned.
Dude, that was freaky.
I jumped
ripping
there.
spines and skulls out of people's bodies and dropping their skin on the ground. Like, oh my god!
Once they start getting picked off, they go really quickly. Like it's like Hawkins and then Blaine
is
immediately after, and then Mac and then Pancho. Like they just
one
by one.
I like that they took some time though, because they showed that there was a bond between
that. I did
Mac.
I don't want to skip over that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like the Mac character because
Mac and Blaine,
he's just quiet,
they were bros.
and tough, and his character, like, is there acting stellar in this movie? No, but like there's just so concentrated versions of these characters, like, and it's just like, yeah, I like that. Like Mac just quietly uses like a Bic razor to just like he just uses it to like calm himself down.
It's almost like an OCD thing or something, But
he's got character to him. Like my quote where he threatens Dylan when he's following him. I'm like, man, how do you threaten Dylan? Like, guy's huge, but like these are tough guys, and there's enough character development. But I just wanted to say there was a brief moment because he hung out with was it Blaine, right?
Blaine,
his body. He hung out and he's talking to him. And he said bye to him. I was like, man, were they like? I'm not saying they were like gay guys or anything like that, but like, man, they were tight.
No, they were
guys.
tight.
They were friends, and I just appreciated that they at least took the time to have that moment with these characters because they needed it.
Yeah, I appreciated that. He had his drink, one last drink with him, and then put his flask with Blaine. But yeah, no, I agree. I like that moment as well because like in just a sea of awesome action, you get this little quiet moment that was sort of unexpected because I feel like you're just expecting all action all the time, or they're the predator's hunting them. But I think that little moment was a good one
because nobody else really was reacting to anyone's death, but like at least Mac like had a reaction because everyone was just like, it's just like
right.
We're just gonna keep moving. Like, like really, you're supposed to be like super tight because you're like the top of the top.
Right,
should be at least.
The one dude's chest got exploded, and that was
Blaine.
That was Blaine.
You just got shot in the back with the plasma.
Yeah, that was nasty. The other guy that died, they're kind of looking for his body, and then I forget who was the next guy got pulled. But that was, it escalated pretty quickly.
The next was Dylan. Dylan got his arm blown off and then stabbed and cut up, sliced and diced, I think.
Well, it was Predator, the nerdy guy who got pulled into the woods, and then
Watkins gets and
he was up in the tree.
Hawkins, I think.
They have they also have like a face off with the Predator because like they do set up some traps to kind of trap the Predator, but then the Predator gets the drop on him, and they like release one of the logs, and it hits Pancho, and he gets messed up. And they have to like drag him for miles. I forget how he just ends up getting blasted later.
So they think that the Predator's coming down like this one pathway on the ground.
Yeah,
but it's actually it's just really it's way more comfortable in the trees. They should have known better, and then like they're all looking, the three of them, like Anna, I'm sorry, what's this guy's name again? The one that got hit in the chest, Pancho. Yeah, and Dutch, they're all looking down, and then out of nowhere, the thing just shoots the guy in the head.
Yep.
Well, Billy,
down.
Billy the tracker's looking up in trees the entire time, and then Arnold all of a sudden, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, has this like great realization, he's using the trees. Like,
right, because Billy had that inclination, like he was looking for a while.
I can't see it.
He had a sixth sense, like something was there, something was watching them.
It was his native ancestors were speaking to him.
Sure, I know, right?
It had some of that.
He has mystical powers, yeah.
But no, he was a good character too. Apparently, that guy was such a loose cannon. The actor, they actually had bodyguards on set to make sure that he didn't like start trouble with anyone else. Which is hell.
He's a big boy. I wouldn't want him to start trouble on set.
Yeah. They said they had some 6'8" guy following around Sonny literally 24 hours a day to make sure he didn't start shit with any of the other.
You got Arnold on set. What are you scared of?
I know. Carl Weathers.
There was a funny.
There's
Jesse Ventura.
Huge.
Like
they're all
got
huge.
some big guys. Yeah.
There was a funny story from Arnold, like playing jokes on people, where he had the seamstress like stitch Jesse Ventura's sleeves a little tighter, and then they said they like told he told the seamstress to tell him that like his arms were bigger than Arnold's. So then he came out and they started arguing about it, and they had a bet over like a bottle of champagne or whatever, and then they had a bicep measuring contest, and Arnold won, and then ended up getting obviously because it was a trick that he had set up and played on Jesse Ventura the entire time, though, it's just funny to hear these little things. Like Arnold got Carl Weathers to start smoking cigars during this movie. Because apparently Arnold was a big stogie guy.
Yes, he's huge in cigars. And I love that like everyone's in the helicopter in the opening shot when you meet the team, when they're getting ready to get their mission. And when they show up, they all get out. And then you have Dutch just sitting there like with a cigar.
Yeah. Fucking get out when I want to. Like,
oh, dude. Yeah, he's great.
He's just wearing a red polo. I thought that was like a weird choice for that. But
yeah. Yep. I don't know if we did mention the Jean-Claude Van Damme, but the other guy that actually played Predator, was Kevin Peter Hall, and he was like a 7'2" dude, but apparently the Predator costume weighed like over 200 pounds.
Oh damn!
So even this huge like 7'2" dude still needed to be held up by like bungee cords and shit just to have him be mobile in this Predator costume.
Right. There's some shots where he's not doing parkour, but he's hopping around and doing something. I noticed it was quick shots, but still, which is fine. Like I don't want to see a lot of the Predator anyways.
In the future Predator movies, is the Predator like as the movies go on, does the Predator get more agile? Does the Predator get more nimble and stuff? Because
well,
I expected a little more. I expected a little more out of the Predator. He's kind of just like not doing shit and running away and then just hiding in trees and then doing shit. Like
he's doing a lot of cheap shots. He's
but I didn't know if we'd see him like swinging from tree to tree or
they're
doing
also
like
more
backflips and Indian burns, all sorts of shit.
No, they're athletic, but they're not. I don't think they're acrobatic. They're more like tanks, like warriors.
Oh, okay.
They can move, but they're just fucking big, strong aliens.
Yeah, like I was figuring barbarians with tech.
Right,
like,
exactly.
Yeah, this one is like the early versions of it. I didn't know how it goes as you get into the Alien versus Predator movies and all that kind of shit. They're still.
I mean, they're not doing like crazy kicks or anything like that I remember.
No,
they're more brute force.
They use weapons. They use their plasma cannons and they have spears and their blades.
Okay.
Yeah. But they're strong too. They can fucking punch a hole in concrete. But yeah, you guys should watch. I don't know have you guys either of you seen Alien vs Predator?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
You should watch that one, Dave. That's a good one. I don't know. I mean, I guess I haven't seen it in a long time. I don't know how it holds up, but I remember it being good and enjoying it. You get the.
I remember being
two of the coolest aliens ever created.
It was like
facing off against each other.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming there's humans in this movie as well. There's like some sort of military faction, something.
Yeah, it's like a kind of like a prequel to Alien because Wayland, the half of Weyland-Yutani from Alien, the Wayland half has the research center in like Antarctica or whatever where they discover.
Yeah, the actor
alien
from Aliens is in the movie, right?
I don't remember. I honestly don't remember.
So.
It's been too long since I've seen that, but
yeah, I'll have to check that.
Terry the alien. I remember him.
Terry the alien. Yeah, that's it.
It'd be so much better if they gave all these guys names, so we could just not say Alien and Predator.
Right,
but
the Predator, the Alien. Yep,
they're just nice guys. But yeah, I don't. It's weird because it's not a lot. There's not a lot to it, but it's like it's a fairly simple movie. But
yeah.
Sorry, Bishop. He's the android.
Yes.
That's in Aliens.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning of Alien 3.
Mm.
He's also in Aliens versus Predator.
Okay.
Same android?
Same guy. Same actor.
That's cool.
The guy that
So he knows.
So he's playing that character. So that's why it's like to me it's like canon to me. I don't know what Ridley Scott's doing, but I think that's kind of cool. If you're going to use the same actor,
I think
then it's and
Ridley Scott just made up his own origin story for the aliens. Because I think the origin story is because with Prometheus, we saw the origin of where the xenomorphs come from. But
where humans come from.
Right. But in Alien versus Predator, they say that the predators are the ones who created the xenomorphs.
Yeah.
So that's
Okay.
those are conflicting ideas, but
All right.
whatever.
Okay. Well. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure somebody's maybe made a fan theory where it works or something like that, but it's still cool. Dave, like I think it's worth your effort to at least. Should you watch the second one? I don't know. I mean, I don't mind.
Predators?
Second one,
Cool.
Predators is just predators in the city.
2 is
Yeah, with
in the
Predator
city
2.
with
Yeah,
Danny
not
Glover.
Predator. Yeah, Predator. I'm thinking of Aliens. Yes, Predator.
Is there
and Predator
Arnold
2.
in 2?
No.
Danny Glover,
Unfortunately.
baby.
Just Danny Glover.
Danny Glover,
okay.
yeah, but I think he should have at least been in it. But you get Gary Busey's in it, and there's some cool stuff because they're like, yeah, there's some cool scenes in the second one. Danny Glover's great. It has a cool ending, so those are good things about it.
Oh, you guys
And
already
then,
spoiled that, so I don't need to see Danny Glover get the heads and the thing,
the cool
get
pistol.
the pistol. Yeah, Alien vs Predator though is definitely interesting because I do like aliens. And
I would
And then
say-
there's,
do
there's
like
other
predators.
ones though too. There's,
Alien
like,
versus the lore they introduce in Alien versus Predator is the most interesting part, I think.
I didn't like the one that was more recent.
Because there's Predators and there's the Predator, which is so stupid the way
Who's
they
the
name
act-
these things.
Who's the actress from G4?
I don't know.
She's like from G4 TV or something like that.
Oh,
Was she in Predator?
the one that
Predators
dated
or the Predator?
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, Olivia Munn.
Yes,
The one that she was in. I got halfway through it and I
the
turned it off.
Predator.
Yeah,
I had to turn that one off. That I don't know what that has for a rating, but like to me, I was just like, oh my god, this franchise is dead.
yeah.
I
Predators
didn't-
is from 2010. The Predator is from 2018.
Okay, so I probably watched the one from 2018, and I didn't like that one at all. But Predators actually sounded pretty
Predator,
good. 'Cause
yeah.
that was,
Predator sounds
that was
interesting.
like rural country, like kind of town, right? In
no,
Maine or
Predators is
that takes place on a different planet.
the Predators capture a bunch of humans and transfer them to another planet, and they basically have to like survive on this planet and face off
Yeah.
against the Predators.
Yeah. Okay.
That's not very fair.
Don't remember that one, but it has an okay rating, so I kind of want to watch that one.
The lead is a good actor. It's what's his face?
Adrian Brody.
Yeah,
Adrian Brody.
Lawrence
Yeah.
Fishburne's
So
in there too.
Yeah, these are real.
Topher
actors.
Grace. Come on.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne plays this guy who's been like surviving on the planet for like years, so he's like the one who knows how to get around and stuff.
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
I actually kind of want to watch that one and Prey, of course, since that's like the
Yeah,
one that
and then
people
that's
talk
good.
about.
That Prey came out, and that was like, yeah, that's cool that one actually worked out. That's breathes life into this franchise because I hate seeing a franchise just get overdone to the point where like, man, what they ran out of ideas. And
Yeah.
they're just bad.
I mean, we saw that with
Yeah.
Alien franchise too. Like the newest
yeah,
Alien
dude.
movie, I didn't see that one, but I didn't hear good things about it. Alien Covenant or whatever it was.
Right, in the Matrix movie, the last one that came out, I mean, they just get worse over time. Like the first one's good, and they get worse over time. You know, it's hard, but like you guys, I mean, I don't know. I mean, like we talked about Rocky and like how they have some. It's really good, but there's like a couple duds in there. But like
Couple
it's
dips,
mostly
yeah.
really, really good. You know, it's hard to do that. Jaws had one good movie, and then the
The rest was garbage.
How do you make a fucking movie about Jaws? You killed the shark. How do you do it? You know, so. And they called one The Revenge. Like, seriously, what the fuck? You know?
This
so,
is baby.
But Prey coming out, being good, and just, it seems like, all right, that's cool. That's cool that they happen. So I would like to see that. I would like to see this Predators. Again, like we've talked about this, the universe is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Dave.
It's
I
kind of
think
surprising that Arnold never came back
one.
into it for any of the other ones either. Like,
No, because he's more invested in Terminator. He owns like 10% of it, apparently, or something. Like
yeah,
that.
that's true. Like, I mean, there was a 20-year gap between Predator 2 and Predators where, like, at any point in there, like, I'm sure Arnold was pitched on some stuff. Like, hey, come back and do
Right,
another Predator
Dutch.
movie.
He could still do it.
He could make
You
a
know?
cameo, yeah,
Sure.
somewhere.
He
It
could
says he's
still, like-
mentioned in the next 3 movies, but
Yeah,
like, he's
like
not-
in
he's not
Predator
in 'em.
2, they talk about like, you know, what happened in the first movie. But yeah, I don't know.
Interesting. How
I
does
guess
a
he just
Predator
one
get
and
into
done.
a city? Yeah, which is kind of, you know, because he was the main pull of the franchise for this movie too, which is kind of surprising. But can we talk about one thing that had me laughing out loud at the TV?
Was it the pussy jokes?
No, it wasn't the pussy
Yeah,
joke.
what was up with the? I have commented like, what was up with that pussy joke?
There was two of
Billy?
them.
Like the guy's like he's the comedian of the group. He's like the nerdy funny guy.
They weren't even close.
They were
to being
all
funny.
yeah. They were
think
not.
part
They
of
were
it-
so bad. They were so lame. That's
Yeah,
what
they
made
were-
it into the movie.
They were pretty bad, but
The cool part though, or the creepy part, was when Billy was laughing and then the predator was like imitating that laugh, or he was like, I don't know how they do it. It's like they record it and then they imitate, or if they're actually doing that with their voice. I don't know.
which got me to the last part. Like the predator understood laughter. Like he set his nuclear bomb off and immediately went into like evil, maniacal, super villain laughter.
We die together.
Yeah, dude, that was
It
so
was like
creepy.
Not the
echoing
creepy.
through. Like that laugh was like, it was weird and hilarious and
Because it's like distorted too. It just sounds fucked up.
yeah. I don't know. I laughed out loud at that part when Arnold's running away. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like this is some silly shit.
Yeah,
But I mean,
well, it gets silly at the end. I mean, come on. Arnold does his battle cry. Like, there's some cheesiness going
Of
on.
course.
But, like, I don't know.
But I mean, an 80s action movie. Like for the time, it was hot shit. I was talking to somebody earlier who's a little older than me. He was probably in his teens or high school maybe when this movie came out, and like this movie was like the big shit back then. As far as like special effects and practical effects and all that kind of stuff. Made on a budget of like $15 million and made 100. So
Okay.
it's like a pretty huge, box office for back then. I believe it was one of the top, 2 or 3 movies that was released that year as well. So
Yeah.
Right.
I think the effects hold up relatively well. I think the Predator suit still looks really good. The Predator like makeup and creature design looks awesome.
it's all practical. That's why. Like
Yeah. The only thing that looks lame to me, I think, is maybe when it shoots its laser bolt out. I'm like, all right, that looks kind of
It's
dated.
whatever.
But I didn't mind the invisibility cloaking for its time. I'm like,
The
man,
camo
what
looked
else-
okay. Yeah.
I mean, it works still. It's not like, it's not like now we know how we would totally do it. But like for the time, I'm like, that's kind of cool. And I bet when you first saw it, you're like, you've never seen anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
or the first jump of the heat vision.
Yeah.
Like that got me when it's like a hard cut real quick. It does have like that little like intro sound to it, but they
Did you hear heartbeats? You hear all the heartbeats of people. And
Yeah, they
breathing,
sprinkle
and the
that
voices
in.
are distorted.
like more and more
Point of
towards the
view
middle,
shots.
and they kind of forget about it. Like it's kind of like that hunting mechanic of giving you the anxiety of somebody watching you, but you can't see them, kind of, and you don't know exactly if they're looking at you or if they're hunting. Like,
Yeah. They give you that little tease.
You know how like movies had like the really good movies have these little things that like when you're watching it, you probably appreciate it, but like when you're watching it, like, yeah, it was a good movie, but why? Right? Like Star Wars is great because it has killer music, like set pieces, like sounds and like lightsabers and like just all these like little things are very iconic. Like, man, it is just so cool, and people geek out on that. Jurassic Park, the same thing, the sound of a T-Rex, all the Jeeps, right? Like there's all these like little things that make a really good movie, and like this movie I think has it because the alien creature, like the design, right? It's not only a cool looking design, but like, it's got the shoulder cannon, it can go invisible. It's got like this sweet like mouth underneath its cool ass mask. It has like green ooze. It has this I love it. These 3 red lights. It comes out of nowhere in the movie, and like Matt gets fucked. He's like, what the fuck is that thing? It's just like, it's on his face. Just blows his brains out, it's just like, it's trouble when you see those 3 dots on you and stuff like that. So I just think like this movie did a lot of cool things that maybe they weren't intending to, maybe they were, but like looking back on it now, like those little things make a really cool character where like today we have not really changed the Predator because and he's got when Arnold was crawling,
double blades,
when it finally caught Dutch. It had the blades go over his head. I was like, it could have killed him. Oh, it doesn't want to yet. You know, it's fucking iconic.
He's playing. I mean, it's so cool that a kid that's never seen the movie bought the poster and put it
Right.
up in his room when he was a kid. Like, that's
They got the design
how
right
fucking cool it was.
the first time, for sure. Like that, yeah, the armor, everything about it is iconic. It's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like Boba Fett almost. Like, you know what to expect when you see a Predator as gadgets, like you said, the shoulder cannon, the blades.
I like the med
helmet.
kit thing that he had in his arm, where he's like got this like spray gun that he's spraying on his thing, and then he's got like a needle that he's got a whole fucking full
Field
med
kit out there, yeah.
in his arm. It's kind of cool. He wrote, "What else is tucked away in that sweet
He's just
armor?"
right. He's just loaded with tech, which is cool. Because like when you're first watching the movie, you're like, "What else does he got? What else does he got?" Maybe he needs to cut those nails because he's like, like
yeah. It's not
cut
touch.
those
It's
fucking
not
nails.
touch sensitive like an iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the whole concept of like when they lose, they have to like sacrifice themselves. Essentially, it's like a samurai death almost. You know,
It is.
because they lose, so they honorably commit suicide by, you know, and it's like their last ditch effort too. Whoever's close to them is going to get taken out too when they set their bomb off. So that's such a cool way to go out.
What did you guys think of when Arnie stood over the thing? He's like, he knows it's still alive. He's like, oh man, it's still alive. So he like rolls over and he grabs a rock. He's like, I'm gonna kill you. But then he like sees it like spitting up its green ooze. He's like, oh,
I feel bad now.
You've been killing us left and right, like, because you're totally like in a different like league of killing, dude. But like, I feel bad.
I
for
think
you.
in a way, maybe he didn't feel bad for him. I think maybe Dutch gained respect for him too, possibly. Like, you know, just their face off,
sharing
their
the
battle.
moment of beating
Right.
it. Yeah.
Like he knew that he was dying anyways. So yeah, he knew he won. So he didn't, you know.
Okay.
I specifically wrote down that too. Like, Arnold just smash his goddamn head in with the rock and be done with it. Like, because you know he's gonna.
This
try
is
and
for
blow it
all
up.
my friends. They are dead now. One of them is married. Hawkins is married. You know, he's just been smashing their heads in, or smashing his heads in, but he just tosses it to the side.
Who let him become a general?
Yep.
No, I thought it was a fun one. There are still some Arnold Schwarzenegger holes in my library that I do need to see.
What else you got over there?
You guys are
Don't tell me the fucking first Predator movie or something like that. I'm sorry, Terminator movie.
No, I've seen the Terminators. I've seen Kindergarten Cop and Total Recall, Running Man.
Have you seen Twins?
I have not seen Twins.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
Oh, Twins is a good one. Wait, have you seen?
I like Twins. But I haven't
Have you seen? Oh, the one that Cameron did with him. That's a good movie.
I do like the Conan ones that he did back in the day. Those ones were classic. But True Lies.
True Lies. Thank you.
Junior-
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
I haven't seen
That's
Junior,
True
where
Lies.
he has a baby.
True Lies is great.
I kind of want to see Junior now. Eraser was good. You know, I've seen a majority of them.
Yeah, I've seen most of them, but there's a couple that like you said, True Lies, the newer Terminator movies, which I don't really have any desire to see. I saw the first Expendables movie, which was okay, not too bad. Getting all the old action stars together,
Yeah, they're
it's
fun.
fun. Yeah,
True Lies is good. True Lies is
Jamie Lee
based off
Curtis
a
in
book,
that
but
one.
yeah, it's got great comedy, I think, in it. Bill Pullman is in it, and right, it's Bill Pullman, not Paxton, right?
Hold on.
I get them mixed. You gotta check out.
Look it up. Bill Paxton.
Pullman or Paxton.
Bill Paxton. I'm an idiot. Thanks for checking.
Tom
Bill
Arnold.
Paxton. Bill Paxton is in it, and he's great comic relief. That is a good movie. We should definitely talk about True Lies.
I'd be down.
To the Arnold library. I've been itching to watch. I always liked Running Man. I thought that one was a really good.
Running
one.
Man is good. I've watched it recently. It's fun.
I think
as
Running
fuck.
Man's the other one that I haven't seen.
Based off of a
Is
short
that
movie.
Stephen King?
Stephen King. Yep.
Yeah.
Based off of Stephen King.
So
Short
there's
story.
all,
I think
there's all
those
sorts
are
of stuff
the
in
main
Arnold's.
ones I haven't seen. Yeah.
He just hasn't had that that heartwarming tale where he has his late life resurgence where he puts together some indie darling movie where he shows his real acting chops.
He's not like a great actor though, so there's not much you can do with him. So he can't,
a bit of a one-trick pony, I would say, just a bit. But it's a good trick for back in the day. I don't think he could really pull it off these days.
If he did, he could probably pull off doing a Predator movie, as Dutch,
old Dutch.
Just like he's on a ranch or something like that, and like it's. Who knows?
It could be a fucking
him and he's got to Home Alone his way out of it. But
Sylvester Stallone did it with like the newest Rambo movie. Like Arnold could do it if he wanted to.
Right, and we will be there to see it.
Bringing back Predator.
Just show old Dutch on his like.
It doesn't need
ranch
much.
Or something like that with a cigar, and all of a sudden 3 red lights are like going on the grass, and it's just slowly going up to him, and he's just like, I don't know.
I always knew you'd come back for me.
Yeah, right. Whatever. He can say whatever he wants, but does a one-liner, or he lights a cigar and says, "Let's do this," and then come in this summer. We'd fucking do it. We would see it.
Oh yeah, of course.
Nice. All right. Well, you got anything else we want to close on here?
Do you, Dave? The one that. I've never seen this movie.
No, I think it satisfied my summer blockbuster needs. It checked off all the boxes where I expected it to. It showed its age in some spots, but I mean, for what it is, they worked very well for the issues that they had with the production. I always love going back and seeing production notes from these old movies where you get to hear all the old stories. There's lots of good stuff there. So overall, yeah, a great intro to the Predator-verse, and I would like to certainly see Alien versus and 2 and probably Prey.
You can see why there's a franchise because of this movie.
Yeah. Great action flick.
Great
real
creature
quick, design.
One comment, and if anybody can answer it, then please. But is it a coincidence that these very large, shady groups are meeting deep in the jungle at the same spot where this fucking one-of-a-kind alien is on their planet? Because Dylan was saying that like this shit is big. This is the biggest deal. This is like huge. If this shit goes on, we need to find out what's going on. We got to stop it, kind of thing. And they've been trying to send their best men into it. So, was there a reason why those? Because you had people speaking Russian, you had people speaking Spanish, but like the country that it was in, what country was?
I didn't really catch what they.
I don't know if they even said.
Yeah, I didn't really catch, but he was talking about some like invasion or something of this country or the bordering country that they.
Why they had all the weapons essentially?
Yeah,
just because essentially they're buying. I don't know if they were guerrillas or whatever, but they were looking to overthrow.
Yeah, they were plotting an invasion on the bordering country.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't think that's what I thought at first too, that it had something to do with the Predator, but I don't think so. I think that was more of just like a decoy, to get them, because that was Dylan's whole reason to get them out there, is to stop this coup, this invasion.
Dude, it's in Vietnam.
Okay, I mean that.
Well, hold on a second.
I thought it was just in some unnamed country.
No, I'm sorry. Dutch is a Vietnam War veteran.
Okay. Yeah, I just assumed this was some made up unnamed country for the movie or whatever. Generic jungle country in the.
Yeah, okay. All right, yeah. I guess it's not explained where it takes place.
It's probably an analog for like Vietnam or something though.
Yeah. The jungles didn't look very Vietnam-y, but whatever. The jungles seemed a little sparse, but we'll see. All right, great.
Where does Predator take place?
That's a good wrap. Let's take a break from hunting each other and let's do a little competition. Since we're talking about 80s movies, we are going to come back and we are going to discuss and see how much you boys know about 80s action flicks. Right after this. we're back to play a
We are
little
back.
game to wrap it up.
I'll be back. Get to the chopper.
Yeah, surprisingly, not a ton of Arnold impressions today, thankfully. So that's a good thing.
We spared you, listeners.
We're going to do a little 80s action trivia since, we've talked about a lot of Arnold's movies. We've watched a lot of Arnold movies. Might as well go back to the era where he made his name and kind of run through some of the movies from that era and see. I don't know if you guys have seen them all. We got some multiple choices, so that'll even the odds a little bit for you. So
Nice.
I'm sharing my screen and I will read these questions out loud for you. We will decide a number between 1 and 100.
Need to update your browser, Dave.
Eric, yeah, I do. Eric, you get the first pull. You want to lose all my tabs when I go to refresh.
All right, number between 1 and 100. I will go with 27.
Brandon,
I will go with 44.
I picked 77. So Brandon, you
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right, Brandon. Up first, this sexy gentleman, Patrick Swayze. In Roadhouse, Swayze played a bouncer with a PhD in what discipline? Patrick Swayze had a PhD in philosophy, English literature, or dancing. I've got a PhD in dance.
PhD
Yeah, right.
dancing.
My feet.
What was the second one?
Philosophy, English literature.
It's the wrong
the first
movie,
one.
though.
Probably philosophy.
That is correct.
Wow. Good
Nice,
job.
nice work. I think we kind of eliminated dancing from our mockery, but you never
If
know.
it was Dirty Dancing, I don't know.
Roadhouse is one of those ones I've never seen, so it could go either way.
Roadhouse.
Yeah, it's a cool movie.
Hmm.
It's cool. It's good.
Eric, over to you. RoboCop. What is RoboCop's human name? Is it Alex, Judge, or Robert?
I should know this. I don't think it's Judge. I mean, it very well could be, but
Maybe he's Dred's cousin. Who knows?
oh, I don't remember. Let's go with Alex.
Which I will say in the movie, they do call him by his last name most of the time. Alex, you say?
I'm torn, but yeah, let's go with Alex.
Alex is correct. Alex Murphy being his full name. They always called him Murph in those, but wow, you guys are doing well already. So
That's a good guess.
Let's see where we go from here. Brandon, complete the Lethal Weapon duo's name. Riggs and Glover, Murtaugh, or Moriarty?
Murtaugh.
Murtaugh is correct.
Riggs and Glover.
Riggs, I know that. I didn't really realize that
was
until
a
I read
gimme.
that out loud. Yeah. Moriarty sounds like that's a Sherlock Holmes villain, so
Right. Yeah.
not quite there. All
What are
right.
we playing to here, by the way? Did you say?
Let's play to 5. You guys are doing good. We'll see who can get up there first, or whoever has the most by the time this quiz on joe.ie ends. So
We're not doing all 21 questions.
absolutely not. Eric, over to you. First Blood. John Rambo is a veteran of which war? The Korean or the Vietnam War?
I mean, I would assume Vietnam. But we all know what assuming gets you. I don't remember from the movie, so 50-50 shot, I'll say Vietnam.
Vietnam is correct.
Yes, you know.
Yeah.
Man, you guys are.
He has that
batting-
whole fucking
batting
monologue
awesome.
at the end where he's crying his eyes out. At the end of the movie, if we've seen that,
Man,
movie,
I gotta
right?
watch Rambo again. Yeah, not
Well,
that
it's
long
not
time.
Rambo. It's First Blood.
Okay, First Blood.
And then the second movie's like, fuck it,
The
Rambo.
naming conventions are
First
so
Blood
fucking
2.
stupid. Oh
And then
my
the
God.
third one's just Rambo 3.
So stupid.
Fucking girl.
And then the last one's like Last Blood or something like that.
Rambo's has a very specific set of skills, and those
Killing.
usually involve murdering people.
Hey, I like that.
Ripping throats out.
First Blood is great.
All right, over to you, Brandon.
Oh.
This one's not fair.
How come I
because
can't get this one?
we know Brandon hasn't seen this one from our previous Rocky episodes, but what is Ivan Drago's famous line to Rocky at the start of their fight in Rocky 4? I've got the eye of the tiger. I must break you. Or, come on, Yankee scum. Those are my Ivan Drago.
Wow,
voices.
I've never seen the movie, but I know the lines. Like, if he dies, he dies, or something like that. So I want to say it's the second one. I think I will break you sounds like something I've heard people say. So I'll go with
I must
that
break you.
definitely not that third one.
I must break you is correct.
I must
Okay.
break you. I must.
And he
I
gives
must
him,
break
he gives
you.
him the gloves. Ooh.
That's like my Predator poster, where like I haven't really seen it, but I know it.
Yeah,
Iconic.
that's I've seen all the memes and everything from Predator, and then when you see him in the movie, you're like, oh
Yeah.
okay.
Come on, Yankee scum.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
another thing. Eric, back to you. From what
boy.
year does the Terminator travel back in time from the first movie?
Oh.
Ooh, that's
The
a good-
Terminator
that's a- now
comes-
that's a good.
Comes from when back to 84 or whatever? He comes from
Right.
2029, 2204, or the year 2000.
It's got to be 2029. Because, I mean, John Connor isn't 200 years old or whatever, so it's
Hey.
got to be 2029.
John Connor is also Neo, as we found out today, so that's just a whole different story. So 2029 is correct. You guys are 6 for 6 on these. What a shitty quiz I
Damn.
picked out here today. You guys
Was
are
your
crushing it.
comment because of that video where we were watching how there may have been a woman who wrote the story
she
to
got the
Terminator?
ideas of Terminator and Matrix, or she came
That's
up with
great.
the ideas of them. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was digging into a little bit of a rabbit hole there with like
Yeah, I
the
was
conspiracy
checking it out.
theories around that stuff.
It is kind of weird. I
Interesting.
had no idea there was a connection there before, and then I saw that on the TikToks, and that was an interesting one. Back to you, Brandon. What city is Axel Foley from in Beverly Hills Cop? Speaking of 80s classics, this movie fucking is the greatest.
Wow, what a
New York,
Actually,
Philadelphia, or Detroit?
I don't think Brandon's watching the screen, but there's a pretty
I know.
obvious
Don't
hint,
say it. Don't say that.
Oh, I'm not watching anything. What?
under our names, live show.
Yeah.
Hover over Dave's name, and then hit watch stream.
Oh.
Okay. Well, now I don't even have to read these out loud to you, so you can just see it. What city is Axel Foley from in Beverly Hills Cop? New York, Philly, or Detroit?
I would have gone with that anyways. Detroit. Although I originally thought Philadelphia, but I want to say Detroit.
Detroit is correct.
Does have a Detroit
He's
Lions
wearing a Lions
jacket in the,
jacket,
in
Right.
the picture.
I don't know
Which-
why would you have video on for this, because like we don't need it. I thought you're just reading shit at us
Yeah,
anyways.
Because it's fun to look at
I
the
like to keep
pictures.
you. I like to keep you
Alright.
entertained. Go the extra step.
Now I got that fucking song in my head.
All right, was that 3 for 3? So that's 4, isn't it?
Damn.
'Cause this is question
Crushing-
7.
we're
so
crushing this
everybody's
quiz.
gotten one right. All right, Eric, back to you. You got to get this right. Oh, we see John McClane coming up
John
next.
McClane. Yep.
What's John's last name?
What's John McClane's wife's name in Die Hard? Shirley, Hannah,
Oh.
or Holly?
Shit.
I know.
Why? Ugh. I'm terrible with names.
But I've also seen that
Isn't
movie
it?
way more than you have.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say I've seen it once. I'm gonna kick myself for this one. I think it's Holly. I'm going with Holly. Holly McClane.
That is correct.
correct.
Okay. So, whew.
I'll give you an extra high five. Can you tell me Holly's maiden name?
No. I cannot.
What?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
he's got to look it up in the beginning because he's got to look it up by her maiden name, Holly Gennaro.
Oh,
That's also on the desk.
I don't remember that.
Come on now. We love that.
Told you I'm terrible.
Oh
with
my
names.
god.
Oh well.
Number 9
This doesn't count.
to break the tie. I don't even know what this question is, but it is Arnold Schwarzenegger from the Commando cover.
What's the question?
Well, we got to keep going until somebody gets one wrong. You can't just be.
What is the name of the fictional country where Predator is set?
Oh, we just looked this up.
I think I gotta skip this one for you.
This
All
one
right,
doesn't
but
count.
let everybody know that it's called
This is a cool fact. Yeah.
Val Verde, and apparently it's like a go-to fictional Central American country if you're doing a movie. Just like Eric was saying, how that's kind of like using 555 in movies, which that's a cool.
You need to put like cocaine drug lords in your movie. Yeah, head down to Val Verde.
Val Verde.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
like that needs to be a T-shirt, with like a sign for Val. Yeah, that'd be
Sounds
probably
like
cut T-shirt.
It sounds like
Val
a
Verde.
Grand Theft Auto like country that you would go
It
to on
does.
like a sound
Or like
side
Far
mission or
Cry
something.
7 is going to take place in Val Verde.
Grand Theft Auto 8 Val Verde.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
All right,
Brandon,
fine.
you
Well,
get,
I don't
you
do
get
this.
0 credit for that, and may God have mercy on your soul. Next up, we see Jean-Claude Van Damme. Ooh, kickboxer takes
Oh wow,
place
a real hard one actually.
in what city? Bangkok or Chiang Mai?
I don't know Chiang Mai, but I know Bangkok, so I'll just go with Bangkok. I don't know.
That is correct.
Oh, okay.
All right, you're first to 5. Eric, you got to get this, or we're gonna call you the big
I was going to
loser.
say, we just got to keep going until someone gets one wrong.
True or false?
True or false?
Oh God, 48 Hours came out after Beverly Hills Cop. I don't know if I've seen 48 Hours.
What? Like the show 48 Hours?
No,
Like, where
so
they're doing
Eddie
invest-
Murphy
Or
did
is
a
that a
movie,
movie?
called 48 Hours with
Oh.
Nick Nolte, but he also did a movie Beverly Hills Cop. The question is just, which one did he do?
48 Hours came out after Beverly Hills Cop. True or false? I would say false. I have no idea. I would say false.
That is correct. All right, I was gonna say
We're gonna
true
be
there.
going forever.
Oh,
Can't we just
shit.
accept that we're both just smart and we know our fucking movies?
We know
We
them
need a
all.
winner. We need to know who goes to space camp or not. We'll just go as soon as somebody gets one wrong. You were gonna be the big loser for the day. Next up. Oh, here you go.
Oh wow.
Which future Sex and the City actress played the main female role in Big Trouble in Little China? Kim Cattrall
Kim Cattrall.
or Sarah Jessica
Kim
Parker?
Cattrall.
Kim Cattrall is correct.
Can give more than 2 options on these
Hey,
questions.
can't make them too hard, apparently. Joe.ie.
That's not. Joe.ie. Thanks, Joe.
Yep. Oh, here's another good one for you. Eric. At the start of Aliens, Ripley is woken up after how many years in hypersleep? This is a tough one. This is a very exact one. 57 years, 127 years, or 30 years in hypersleep. Seems like
That's a
a
crapshoot.
seems like a shitty way to travel.
You could right. That what
Like,
what
you
an
go there-
inefficient way of.
Yeah, you go there and you come back and everybody that you knew is like 60 years older, essentially.
Yeah, I don't think it's 127. I don't think Aliens was that far in the future. I think
Right,
Alien
the
3
technology would
Alien
be
3 was like
vastly
super far
different.
in the future. 30 sounds right. 57 still sounds like too much, but it's specific, so it could be right though.
And this is the start of Aliens. This is the second
know.
Alien movie.
Oh, I know.
Okay, just making
Wait,
sure.
wait,
Just
I'm
making
just trying to-
sure.
Deduce. Because I'm trying to think of the characters that were in Aliens. Because I know when she wakes up, she's talking to like one of the Wayland Yutani execs or something. And then I don't remember.
And they say,
I'm just gonna.
"Good job, Ripley."
I'm gonna say 30.
30 is incorrect.
Oh fuck! I'm
Wow,
between
57.
57 and 30.
57.
Eric, I was with you. Like, surely it's 30. I mean, that's a
That was
long ass time.
It's
Surely.
between 57 and 30, but all right.
All right. Well, you guys surprised me there.
Great. I get to go to space camp and fight fucking predators and
Predators and aliens. You're going to be in the middle of the alien versus predator war.
Yeah, that is where space camp takes place, on the Predator homeworld. So enjoy.
Do it. Do it. Take me. Do it now.
Do it. I'm here. I'm here. Come get me.
I'm here. Do it. I'm here.
You could not hide the accent for that.
I'm here. Kill me. Just kill me.
Oh,
that was silly. All right. Well, next week we have our 100th. The week after that, we're watching Big Trouble in Little China. But in the meantime, Eric, if people want to get a hold of us to chit chat, how do
send
they
us an email. We've been getting those lately.
Rolling in.
They're
just piling in.
Yeah, if you want to send us an email, nomadsoffantasy@gmail.com. Send us anything you want. Questions, comments, concerns, ideas for games, just random
pictures
bullshit.
of your dog.
Yeah, whatever you want to do, we'll read it on the show. If you want to get in, follow us on the social medias. You can follow us at Nomads of Fantasy on Twitter and Instagram. You can join our Discord, the nomadsoffantasy.com/Discord. You can play our fancy game, whatmapgame.com. If you like guessing video game maps, you can visit our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@nomadsoffantasy. Just going to be, we're putting up our Super Mario Brothers movie quick review there. So check that out. Yeah, I think that's it. Excited to tune in for the 100 episode stream.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Going on. That will be
a whole lot of tomfoolery probably that night. So
yes, absolutely.
Well, we're looking to record on a Friday. Whoa.
Yeah,
fucking fancy.
It's gonna be a 3-hour episode late into the night. No, I'm just kidding.
We'll be slurring our words at the end of that one.
Yeah, we'll have to get to
Davey's getting drunk.
Drink some party poppers, all the good stuff. But all right, but well, I don't know. That's that's it for this episode.
Do it. End the show.
Do it now.
Safe travels, Nomads.
Son of a bitch is dug in like an Alabama tick.
You're hit. You're bleeding, man.
I ain't got time to bleed.
Oh. Okay.